So why do people turn on you, stab you in the back, take advantage of you? The top reasons are, most of you will probably say, internet, they do it out of jealousy. They do it out of hatred. It was the devil that made people do it. These are definitely three causes, but today I want to give you some perspective on some other things now. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Antoinette. Are you ready to be ignited tonight? I said, are you ready to be ignited? Now, see, some of these topics aren't going to ignite you to the point of you feeling the fire under your tail for you to get up and take off running with your life. But sometimes when you are ignited, it's the aspect of having your mind illuminated, like light bulb moment, like, aha, okay, I got it now. Like, I didn't think about that. This is what this is about. Let's hop on into this topic. Why do people turn on you? Influence. They turn on you because they have been influenced against you. You see, the common thought is, oh, some people go to the word and they say, the Bible say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It was in their heart the whole time. Whatever you showed me, it was in your heart. Not necessarily. That applies to some situations, but not all. Everyone isn't sitting around premeditating doing evil, committing evil against you and yours. Sometimes it's, number one, influence. I do want to set some precedents for this. Anyone can be used for evil. Oh yes, whoever is susceptible. This is why I'm talking about this. Because these reasons here aren't necessarily what you would normally think would make an individual turn on you, stab you in the back. It's about whoever is susceptible to evil or the devil, or whoever is lost in the sauce, which means they have a lot going on in their head, that they're overwhelmed, they're already stressed, so they're not thinking clearly. So they make certain decisions that may in turn hurt you. There are two that I want to mention that I want to use counteractively, and that's life pressure and influence. What I just mentioned. When people have a lot going on, they're already overloaded with their life, so it doesn't take much for them to make a decision that they really didn't think about. For an example, if you're at a traffic light and it's your time to go, but you notice oncoming traffic, a vehicle coming at you where it's going to T-bone you, at the spur of the moment, you slam on the brakes, or you may veer off. That's what you decided at the spur of the moment. You weren't necessarily thinking about the anti-lock brakes that your vehicle has. Now you may probably flip. You're not thinking about that. At the spur of the moment, you made the best decision that you could. You made the quickest decision at the spur of the moment, okay? How many times have you made a decision at the spur of the moment? Have you ever found yourself in a predicament where you said, I'll never do that. I can't believe him. I can't believe her. They so nasty. They so unprofessional. Oh my God, I would never. Looking back, hindsight, can you honestly say, you don't have to say anything in the comments, but if you want to, you can. Can you honestly say that you have done some things in the past that's way outside of your character? Internet, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I participated with that woman, with that man. I don't know why I said yes to that opportunity. Where was my mind? I can't even tell you what I was thinking. Has that ever been you? Can you resonate with that? That you have made a decision, spur of the moment. Okay, you didn't give it a second thought. You just made a decision. And by making that decision, somebody else got hurt. Somebody else was offended. And you had to apologize because you made a decision without considering all things. In the real world, we don't always get time to give the perfect response. Sometimes it's at the spur of the moment. So I'm here to remind you, everyone, or that woman or that man, that's not your frenemy. They made a decision at the spur of the moment. So now you have probably cut them off and they are somewhere brokenhearted because that wasn't their intent. It was at the spur of the moment. But unfortunately, you were hurt in the midst of that. I'm not saying that you have to go back and be best friends, but I am telling you to put a second eye on it. There are other reasons why you get hurt by people that you care about. And it's not always the devil. It's not always that they are hating or jealous of you. There are some other things that can be at work that can cause you to get hurt. Let me go into some more detail about influence. When you are susceptible, okay, when you are susceptible and vulnerable, you can be in a bad place, a lonely place, a place of grief. For an example, maybe you are walking down the path of grief. Maybe somebody has passed away. So now you're vulnerable to people calling you, coming around, showing you all kind of love, wanting to buy you food, want to quote scriptures and just do all the things that people normally do during this time, trying to comfort you, but perhaps they have a hidden agenda in their heart for you. Influence. Now someone is getting in their ear about you. Someone on the outside is making comments. This is why I'm not keen on being close friends with someone who is close friends to someone who is obviously an enemy. I mean, it's nobody that I look at as an enemy, but I'm sure it's a lot of people who look at me as their enemy, who can't stand my guts for whatever reason. So I will not be close to a person when I know that they are connected to someone who hates my guts. For what? That's a red flag. I've been in that predicament quite a few times. That's not a lesson that I'm willing to go through again. I've learned that lesson, okay? Pass that test. Just like you, I'm sure you've been through some situations. It only took you one time. Maybe it took 4 times, but you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, got the scars. What am I going to sign up for something like that again for? Influence. Someone is in your friend's ear talking, yapping. And now they have been influenced because now they're not thinking straight. Their thought process has been infiltrated. Their thought process has been tainted because they're vulnerable at this place. When people are at 100% top notch, it's more difficult for them to be influenced. But when they are at a low place, a place of vulnerability, when they are fragile, it's easier to work on their mind because their mind is weak. This is when the enemy can come. Or people in their nasty agendas, they can't stand you, so they're going to work on somebody that's close to you to try to get information, to do something that will hurt you. So because your friend or associate has been influenced in whatever way, now they have done or said something that has caused you harm. Lust is another one that I want to mention. You can be associated with someone for quite some time, friends. And for an example, most of you probably were raised with a friend. You have someone from your childhood that you've known for many years. And everything has always been pretty good. May have been a couple of disagreements here and there, but for the most part, everything is good between you guys. But all of a sudden, your life is going to another level. Okay? You told this person about your dreams when you all were teenagers. You told them about your aspirations. But you meant what you said. And now you are knocking those goals out the park. Not only are your finances changing, but your countenance on your face is changing. There is a glow on you now, like a pregnant woman. A lot of pregnant women have a glow on their face. Well, you have that glow on you. You're growing in life. You're evolving. You're passing these different tests. You're not letting all these same old nuggets and naggets attack you and bring you down. You're accelerating in life. So now your associate, they see you doing this and they feel like they're doing that. While you're increasing and accelerating, they're on the decline. Lust. They see something that they want. I wish I had that type of work ethic that my friend has. I wish I had that type of beauty. I wish I was married to a woman like that. It seems like every woman that I get, oh, she not worth nothing. She start off nice and sweet, but then she start talking back to me. Now y'all know how that go. And the same thing with women. Looking at your friend's husband, looking at your cousin's husband, and now before you know it, instead of you being happy for your friend or family member, now you're in lust. You want what they have. And I'm not saying you want a version of what they have. You know how some women say, hey, does your husband have a brother? Does your wife have a sister? They don't want another version, a similar version of what you have. They want exactly what you have. They want that house that you live in. They want that peace that you have. Few things bother you, how you are able to remain unbothered. See, you weren't always like that, but now you have pretty much mastered the art of staying unbothered. Now, there's some things that get to you, but you don't react like the vast majority of people react. So they always see you being cool. When on the inside, you can really be like, oh my God, how am I going to work this out? God, you got to help me. But on the outside, people see you as, oh my God, this person is so calm and unbothered. They're not stressed. They want that. Now, one time have they asked you, hey, can you help me with that? I love your personality. I love your attitude. How did you get like that? And can you help me? They won't come and ask you that. Instead, they lusting. They're in covetousness. They want exactly what you have. They want to look just like you. They want to talk just like you. They want your aura. They want to sleep like you. When I say sleep like you, I'm talking about sleeping with the person that you sleep with. They weren't thinking about this 15 years ago. Remember, 15 years ago, y'all was at the playground, going to get frozen cups together, going on field trips together. Now, in the future, oh God, they want what you have. Lust. So what was the purpose of me giving you this breakdown? Sometimes we think we always know how evil is going to come in our lives because we've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. We know the red flags. We know the sound, the conversation. We have that down pat. But sometimes we can get blindsided. Whoa, no, internet, that can't happen to me. I'm strong in God. I'm 10 toes down. I'm a good judge of character. Like, oh, I don't have a lot of people in my circle. All these things can be true. But you can still be blindsided because you're not operating at 100% all the time. You don't have every area of life mastered. Some of us are good judges of character. We have like that sixth sense. We can see things before they happen. We can sense it. We dream it. We get a message from God about it. But there are some circumstances that come to your life. You didn't get a heads up about it. Well, why does this happen? Sometimes this happens for you to learn a lesson. This can happen to inform you of some voids, blind spots that you have in your life. So this bad situation occurred so that you can go ahead and close that door. So that you can go ahead and get some of that white stuff. What's that white stuff called that men use that you put down on the baseboards? You use it to fill in the holes. It's that white cream stuff in that little bottle. You squeeze it to fill in the blanks, to seal off holes. Things happen to us for that reason. Sometimes for us to seal off these holes. Okay? Put some towels under the door. You have too many cracks and different things can come in. Stop giving everybody your telephone number. Stop conversing with this particular person 2 or 3 times out the week. Hey, y'all were childhood buddies, but now you have elevated. It's time to let that go. What are you all talking about on the phone anyway? Well, internet, I'm grown. You can't tell me who to talk to. I'm telling you this. Fly-by-night conversations where you're constantly being asked, so what do you have going on now? What are you doing with that book you're supposed to be writing? Oh, how's the business going? Who are your partners? That could be a monitoring spirit. Houses are not brought down by those on the outside. It's those on the inside that can bring down a kingdom. Now, yeah, it can happen, but it's normally those on the inside that would derail it. Think about extreme cases of rape and molestation. More times than not, it's someone who the victim knows, a friend of the family, a family member, someone that's in close proximity, a teacher from the school. Whenever it's not, they call cases like this isolated incidents. But more times than not, the person that's doing the offending is someone that the victim knows, someone that the victim has trusted. So what I want you to take away from this is attacks don't always occur in the way that you think, in the way that you've known it to happen in the past. Everyone isn't premeditating doing you harm. Sometimes it's due to influence, it's due to pressure, last minute decisions, and hey, over the course of that, you were hurt. So just because you get hurt, it doesn't mean that you have to cut the person out of your life. Now that's up to you. That's up to you, because Maya Angelou told us when people show us who they are, we have to believe them. That's a true statement. However, let me turn it on you real quick. Like I said earlier, one more time, looking back at your life, how many times have you done things spur of the moment and you had to go back and apologize? It was not your intention. You did not contemplate that. It just happened. You weren't on your toes at the moment. Maybe you were drunk. Maybe you were high when you decided it. Maybe you were stressed out. Maybe you were in grief. You weren't thinking. You were at that red light and the traffic was coming at you and you had to make a quick decision. You slammed on brakes, or perhaps you stepped on them and kept going. And in the midst of that, you ran into the back of someone. Life doesn't always afford us the opportunity to make the best decision by giving us time to process it and think about the best way, by counting the cost, considering this solution, considering that door. We don't always get that luxury. You will make a decision at some time now or in the future that will be spur of the moment, based off influence, based off you not being there 100%. Based off you not being on your toes, you were vulnerable. You got a little jealous at the moment. Yeah. You got a little jealous at the moment. And because you didn't check that, you made a decision that hurt someone you love. Now you have to go back and apologize. Please go back and apologize. And so therefore, are you a bad person? You made a decision and someone was hurt. Are you a bad person? Would you be friends with yourself? Okay, if your answer is yes, Antoinette, I would be friends with myself. I consider myself to be loyal. I'm a good person. Yeah, I have a pretty good track record. I've learned my lessons. I know what not to do. So yeah, I would be friends with myself. So if you feel that way, others believe the same way about themselves. So instead of eliminating some good people who made a bad decision that hurt you at a bad point, bad timing, you may want to reconsider that. You may want to reconsider that. And I know that's difficult to swallow depending on the offense. But once again, I'm not telling you to go back and be best friends. I'm not telling you to go back and be partners. I'm not telling you to go back to the way things were. Pray about this situation. The point of this video is to inform you that your friend or associate may not have contemplated hurting you. It was a spur of the moment decision. It was due to influence. It was due to peer pressure. Not saying they're right. I'm not saying the offense was wrong. I'm not saying that they couldn't have done better than that. But we all, under pressure, could probably have done better than that. But once again, this is life. Extend grace. Extend some mercy. Yeah, some people need to be cut. Some people don't need to be in your life. They are a loose cannon. They have loose lips that would sink ships. Yeah, you need to get rid of them. If people keep doing stuff habitually, get rid of them. I'll tell you, I'm the first one to tell you, cut them off, get them out of your life. Take their phone them out your phone. Tell them the relationship is over with. Don't call me anymore. But there's some other people who just like you have made a bad decision on an off day, off moment, at a time, rushing, trying to make a decision, and you got hurt. Do with that what you will. If you like this content, hit that like button. Let YouTube know that it's popping over here, that it's on fire over here. As it says, ignited, baby. Let YouTube know that we are ignited. If you like to hear more of this type of content, subscribe, share, let someone else know. Let the people know in your life who may be struggling with some of these things that I discussed. It's all about helping the next person. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good evening.